Right, so now comes the apology. The apology, that classic Canadian flourish, our national semaphore for please don't notice that we're actually playing the long game. Mark Carney, of all people, does the honors. The man who once managed the British pound like a concert violinist tuning a borrowed Stradivarius suddenly decides to apologize to Donald Trump for Doug Ford's Reagan ad. Ford, the provincial everyman with the geopolitical instincts of a fire hose, had just blasted a message across all 50 states reminding Americans that Ronald Reagan, yes, that Reagan, the animatronic deity of free markets, opposed tariffs. It was crude but effective. Ford's ad pierced through the fog of American self-regard, suggesting that the tariff gospel of Trumpism was not conservative orthodoxy, but, in fact, heresy. And Trump, being Trump, responded with the emotional discipline of a toddler in a tuxedo. He blew up trade talks with Canada. He pouted. He tweeted. He told his base that Canada was being unfair. And now Carney appears suavely in the aftermath, apologizing for the ad. To Trump. The optics, as they say in Ottawa, are not ideal. The headlines write themselves. Carney bows to Trump. Canadian banker PM grovels. Nation reverts to polite default setting. But this isn't weakness. It's choreography. Carney's entire career has been an exercise in performing calm while surrounded by madness. He is the eye of the neoliberal hurricane, unflappable, urbane, all cufflinks and circumspection. When he apologizes, it isn't contrition, it's a financial instrument. What he's selling is stability. Ford's populist stunt rattled the diplomatic tea set. Carney's apology is the reassuring hand putting it back in place, murmuring to investors, relax, the grown-ups are still here. This is what Trump never understands about people like Carney. Trump only sees dominance and submission. To him, every handshake is an arm wrestle, every meeting a loyalty test. So when Carney apologizes, Trump reads it as victory. He beams. He calls Carney a good guy, which in Trumpese means I've been handled successfully, because Carney hasn't given Trump anything real. What he's done is reset the optics. He's let Trump believe he's won, a psychological sedative in the form of a compliment. In game theory terms, Carney's playing tit-for-tat forgiveness. Defection once, Ford's ad, Trump's tantrum, then cooperate to restore equilibrium. He's not surrendering, he's rebalancing. And what's more, he's doing it for an audience much larger than the orange one in Mar-a-Lago. The apology is meant for Bay Street, Wall Street, and every jittery fund manager who sees trade war and reaches for the gin. Carney's saying Canada remains stable, Canada remains reasonable, Canada remains investable. Doug Ford, meanwhile, has stumbled into being an unlikely hero of the right's internecine war. His ad wasn't just a jab at Trumpism. It was also a quiet indictment of Pierre Poilievre's inability to lead on the international stage. Ford is the populist with a plumber's handshake. Poilievre, the YouTube theorist who's begun accusing the RCMP of conspiracies. Ford knows his lane. The working-class populist of a millionaire dynasty who dreams of being the grown-up at the barbecue. Poilievre, by contrast, wants to be Canada's Trump, but keeps sounding like a man trapped in a podcast. Carney sees this chaos and senses opportunity. His apology isn't just about trade, it's about inheritance. The moment Ford overreaches and Poilievre self-destructs, Carney can step in. The sensible man, the economic whisperer, the would-be savior of a center that's cracking at the seams. The apology doubles as an audition for power. Meanwhile, south of the border, the Americans continue to behave like an irrational actor. Or worse, a rational conqueror. Trump's tariff talk isn't policy, it's annexation by other means. He wants Canada economically absorbed, a tributary state that supplies parts, labor, and polite flattery. Howard Lutnick all as but said it. Canada will always come second in any auto deal. Trump went further. There will always be tariffs. That's not negotiation. It's feudalism with spreadsheets. So what does Canada do? It can't outmuscle the United States, and it can't outshout Trump. But it can outthink him. Ford's ad, for all its lack of subtlety, proved that American opinion can be moved from below. Through myth, nostalgia, and cultural self-reference, the Reagan halo is still powerful currency in Middle America. For a moment, Ford reached those voters directly, and Trump noticed. Carney's apology, then, is the second half of the play. The calm after the noise, he neutralizes Trump's rage, restores the appearance of order, and crucially, leaves Canada looking like the adult in the room. The irony is that Trump's irrationality gives Canada leverage. You can't negotiate with chaos, but you can profit from it. You can become the quiet, dependable counterweight. The good neighbor investors trust more than the circus to the south. If Ford was the spark, Carney is the extinguisher, and if you squint, you can almost see the strategy. Let Ford absorb the populist oxygen. Let Trump have his tantrum, and then let Carney glide in with a banker's grin and say, let's be reasonable, shall we? It's the perfect Canadian con, the weaponization of civility. So no, Carney's not being weak here. He's doing what we've always done, pretending to apologize while quietly taking the win. The Americans call it appeasement. We call it staying in business. The real lesson here, the one no one will say out loud, so I will say it, is that Canada's strength lies in its unthreatening appearance. We disarm by being dull. We conquer by being polite. The trick, as Carney just demonstrated, is to let the empire think it's still in charge. That's the efficient play. Smile, shake hands, and let the storm pass. While the big man roars, you take the notes, you fix the books, and you wait. Because eventually the tantrum will end, and the calm voice in the corner becomes the one that everyone listens to.